Hello dear students. Today we will learn the third lesson from the computer science book of 11th class. This lesson is constants, variables and data types. We have already learned that C is a middle-level programming language designed by Dennis Ritchie. We have also learned how to create programs in C language and then compile and run them. Today in this lesson, we will learn about some special letters or words used to store data and what type of data can be stored in them. So, let us start with the topic tokens. Tokens are the basic and the smallest units of a C program. These can be keywords, identifiers, constants, operators, strings, or special symbols. All these are tokens, and in this lesson, we will learn about various kinds of tokens like keywords or identifiers. And first among them are the keywords. Keywords are the predefined reserved words used in a C program, and their meaning is already known to the compiler, so we just need to use them in the program as they are. And there are 32 keywords in C language. Among them, some of the keywords are int, char, include. We use this include keyword in the first line of the program. Const. We will be learning about the const keyword later in this chapter. Void, if, else. There are so many keywords used in a program and we will be using them regularly in our programs. Apart from the keywords, there are identifiers. Identifiers are the names that are given by the user. These names are given to the constants, variables, or functions. And these names are case sensitive and certain rules are to be followed while giving names. As we can see in these examples, the highlighted words num and pi, these are the identifiers. We can use complete word number or n instead of num. And similarly, anything can be used in place of pi. So these num and pi are identifiers, names given by the user. Dear students, in C language, there are some words or letters that can be used to perform calculations or to store strings. These words or letters are known as variables or constants. So let us first learn about variables. These are the letters or words which are assigned values in a program and their value can be changed in a program. That means we can change the value any number of times in a program. So as we can see in the examples, int num equals to 10. So here num is a variable and its value is 10. Similarly, char grade equals to a. So here grade is a variable and a is its value and it can be changed in the program later. Just like variables, there are constants. The only difference is that their value cannot be changed in a program. That means once a value is assigned to the constants, the same value will be used throughout the program. We cannot change it later. Const keyword, C-O-N-S-T, const keyword is used to declare a constant. Declaration is same as that of a variable. We just add a const keyword to it. As we can see in the examples, const float pi equals to 3.14. So here pi is a constant because we are using const keyword in this. Similarly, const char symbol equals to $. So here symbol is a constant and we are using const keyword in this. Dear students, before using variables and constants in our program, we need to declare them. Declaration is necessary so as to tell the compiler which variables and constants we are going to use in our program, what kind of data or values will be stored in them, and also how much storage space to set aside for those variables. So as we can see, in order to declare variables, we need to mention the data type and the variable names. For example, int num. Here int is the data type and num is a variable. Num is just any name that is given by the user. Similar is the declaration of constants. We just need to add the keyword const in it. Const, any data type, and then the constant names. For example, const int max. Here const keyword we are using so as to tell that we are going to declare a constant. Int is the data type and max is the name that we are going to use for that constant. After declaration, we need to initialize the variables and constants. Initialization means assigning values to variables and constants in advance. The values of variables can be changed later on in the program. So as we can see, in order to initialize a variable, we use the assignment operator, that is equal to symbol. So we mention the data type, the variable equals to value. Example, int num equals to 20. So here num is a variable and its value is 20. We can also initialize the variable after declaration. Here in this sentence, we are initializing it along with declaration. Similarly, we can initialize the constants. We use the word const data type, then constant name equals to value. So example, const int max equals to 100. The value of max is 100 now, and this value cannot be changed in the program. It will be used throughout the program. Max equals to 100. Just like punctuations in English, we have delimiters in C language. Delimiters are also known as separators. Delimiters are the symbols or characters used to separate program elements. Program elements just like constants, variables, and statements. When declaring multiple variables, we use comma to separate them. So comma is a delimiter. Similarly, when writing header files, that is in the first line of our program, we use hash include. So hash is a preprocessor directive, it's a delimiter. In order to group different statements together, we use curly braces, that is in order to create a block of statements. To write mathematical expressions, we use round braces. In switch statement, that we'll be studying later on in next chapters. In switch statement, we use colon symbol to mention a label. To create an array, we use square braces. So all these are delimiters. Our next topic is data types. Data types determine the type and size of the data or the values that can be stored in a variable. This data can be numbers, it can be letters, or it can be any symbols. We have two kinds of data types: user-defined data types and built-in data types. User-defined data types are those which are created by the user himself, and built-in data types that we can use as it is. And built-in data types like char, int, that we have already used in our examples, float and double are also built-in data types. Char data type is used to store characters or symbol values, single character or single symbol values. Int data type is used to store integers or simple numbers. Float data type is used to store decimal points, and double data type is used to store large numbers. We have a very special data type, void data type. It is used as a function return type. It is not used with variables and constants. It is used as a function return type. It shows that the function does not return any value. So as we can see in the example, void print page. Print page is a function and void is its return type. So the function has to do just anything like printf anything. It doesn't return a value, it just does its work. Dear students, we have learned so many topics today. Let us discuss some important points now. We have learned about tokens, which are the smallest and the most basic units of a C program. We have learned about keywords, which are the predefined or reserved words whose meaning is already known to the compiler. Next, we have learned about identifiers, which are the names given by the user to variables, constants, or functions. Variables are the words or letters whose value can be changed in a program, whereas the value of a constant can not be changed in a program. It remains the same throughout. And at last, we did data types, which determine the type and size of data that can be stored in a variable. We learned about some built-in data types like char, int, float, double, and also the special data type void, which is used as a function return type. Now let us discuss some questions from this chapter. First one is, what do you mean by identifiers? So identifiers are the names given by the user to variables, constants, and functions. These names are case sensitive and special rules are followed while naming them. Some rules such as the variable name or the identifier name should not start with the number, it should not have white space, etc. We can see the example, int num equals to 10. So the num, the highlighted word, is an identifier. Our next question is, what are data types? So we all know data types determine the type and size of data that can be stored in a variable. This data can be numbers, letters, or any symbols, just like dollar or question mark, asterisk, or any other symbol. There are two types of data types: user defined data types and built-in data types. Built-in data types like char, int, float, double, etc. We can see the example here, int num equals to 10. So int is a data type. It shows that integer can be stored in this variable. Let us move to our next question. It is, what are delimiters? Delimiters are special symbols which are also known as separators. These are used to separate the program elements just like constants, variables, and statements. Some of the delimiters used in a C program are hash, that is a preprocessor directive, comma, that we always use to separate variables, curly braces to denote a block of statements, square braces to denote an array. So we can see the example, int a, b, c. So a, b, c here are variables and these are separated by a comma. So comma is a delimiter. With this, our chapter constant, variables, and data types completes. Thank you.